Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin. I am a graduate student at the University of Colorado Denver, and I am here to talk about the portrayal of a character with hearing impairments in the film The Quiet. The Quiet is a thriller, psychological thriller, and is based on the story of Dot, who is a 17-year-old orphan who goes to live with her godparents following the death of her deaf father. This film depicts her interactions with her peers and this new family when she is perceived as an individual who is deaf and mute. Dot is privy to a great many secrets throughout this film, one of which is the incestuous affair her godfather is having with his daughter Nina. The film climaxes when Dot helps Nina escape her father and reveals in the process that she can in fact hear and speak. In the portrayal of an individual who is deaf, Dot is shown to be able to take care of herself in society, which is a very big point in the favor of this film. She orders her own food, she communicates with others through sign language, written words, and gestures. She is shown to have many of the same interests as her peers who can hear, from going to see the movies to playing music and even in keeping up her grades in her education. Dot is further shown to have a small social circle, which, while we may perceive that to be sad, it is fairly common in individuals with hearing impairments, simply due to the fact that they prefer the company of individuals who also have hearing impairments, based on the importance that we place on communication within relationships between people. However, there are ways, in fact, where the deaf culture is not portrayed well. First of all, we have to acknowledge the fact that Dot, in fact, is not deaf and is revealed to be so by the end of the movie. What we're therefore seeing is not necessarily how Dot's actions are a portrayal of an individual who is deaf, but more how the film is a commentary on how society perceives an individual who is deaf. One of the ways in which this fails is the fact that Dot does not speak. Dot's lack of speech is not inherent in individuals who have a hearing impairment. In fact, a great many children who are born with profound hearing loss or individuals who have lost their hearing as they've aged can still speak and communicate, albeit sometimes with a different inflection than we can typically put in our speech. Within the psychological stigmas of this film, we do see a great many things portrayed against individuals with hearing impairments, especially individuals who are deaf. First of all, we see Dot is very ostracized from her other peer group. She is seen as less than human. She is called a dog at one point in the movie. She is sexualized by the people in the film, including the scene depicted here where we see her love interest calling her a doll. We also see other characters who see her as deserving of pity, and she's often portrayed as being seen as full of self-pity. Regardless of how she actually feels, everyone assumes she must have pity for herself. We also see further the fact that many people believe that she is responsible for her own place in the world, and it is her attitude that is holding her back and why she's acting less than human. If she just tried, she could act the same way as everyone else. We also see finally that while she's accepted by a good many characters in this movie, she's also accepted conditionally on the fact that they want to treat her in this way of being pitied, someone who needs help, or someone who can be taken advantage of and used for their own value. The consequences of this film on an individual with hearing impairments are likely to be more detrimental than not. First of all, the film mentions a girl who is deaf and mute, and yet it turns out that she can hear and speak. This results in a girl who is abusing the system that is meant to be helpful to individuals who need the assistance. This culminates into the realization that Dot is freed from captivity of her silence and faked disability by revealing her lack of a disability. It gives her the ability to move past the consequences, completely negating the few successes that were seen, such as Dot's portrayal as an average teenager and the obvious and harmful stigmas and biases that Dot has to handle every day while she's perceived as deaf and mute. Regarding the uses of information in my own classroom and life, I want to first of all say that I'm going to renew my interest in learning American Sign Language so that I can communicate with students who at least can communicate in ASL in a way that is more familiar and comfortable with them potentially. However, I believe that we will all occasionally need the reminder that a person with a hearing impairment is not lacking in intelligence, emotional, or mental. More than that, though, these students and others with disabilities are just people who likely find more challenges in the views of others than in their own path through life. Thank you, everyone, for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.